In this video, I'm paying an old friend a visit. Back then I've uploaded 3 videos on how to strip apart this Raketa and give it a full service. Unfortunately, I had problems with the reassembly, so I didn't get to upload a video and show people how to put it all back again. Well, now I can. Okay, so I've just cleaned this watch movement and now I'm going to remove the balance complete and just get it out of the way for the time being. I'll just put it somewhere safe. And let's start off with the center wheel. And just a little bit of a oil on the pinions. And the center wheel bridge. Yeah, spread the oil a bit. Okay, just make sure it rotates freely. Okay, just a little bit of oil in the lower arbor. And the main barrel spring. And now the barrel bridge. Barrel bridge is held by 2 screws. Just make sure it sits nicely. And on the other. Okay, now it's time to grease the winding stem. It's the perfect time to do that. Just along the grooves and the square side. Now also to prepare for the clutch wheel and the winding pinion, I'll put some grease on this plastic cover. I learned this from somebody else, some other watchmaker, I forget the name. But you try to put a thin film of oil on a flat surface and grab the winding pinion or the clutch wheel and just smear or run the teeth on the thin surface of oil, and on the other one as well. So what you try to do is try to match them up, and they'll come lubricated. Okay, now that's out of the way. Time to begin with the keyless works. And that's also the main reason why I started putting I started with the main barrel spring. It stops the clutch wheel and the winding pinion from falling through the hole. Now if we just gently put the winding stem through. And this is also the perfect time to grease the clutch wheel. And just rotate it, spin it a bit. Now I'm just spreading the oil. I'm not trying to drown it. I'm just trying to spread it evenly. Okay. Time to put some oil on the posts. Now this hole here, this is for the adjusting lever, or the setting lever, sorry. And let's begin with or continue on with the yoke. So just make sure it sits in the groove. And this is the setting lever. Now I'll just try to put a little bit of oil on this impact joint. Okay, next will be the yoke spring. I find this yoke spring is easier to put in compared to the other springs. There'll be two more, by the way, but this one I find the easiest to put in. And just a smear of oil between the contact points. Okay, now time to put the setting lever spring. Just making sure it's flat. Okay, that's good. Okay, and I'll just put some little bit of oil on the grooves here. I just put in too much, so just wipe off the excess oil with Rodico, if that ever happens. Go, let's try it. Okay. Yep, looking good. And just taking care of the excess oil. Now I'll just put a dab on the center wheel. This is in preparation for the cannon pinion. Cool. Okay, now working again on the movement side. I'll just grease the post. And as there's a bit of a worn groove on the plate, I'll just add a little bit of oil. I mean, that's a bad sign, but what can I do? Okay, and the click spring. And the click. And now for the crown wheel. And the crown wheel insert. And you'll notice this is there's 3 lines on the screw head. That should tell you it's a left threaded screw to tighten. So you'll go anti-clockwise to tighten the screw, and not the usual clockwise. So to the left. Yep. Now this is the 3rd wheel and the 4th wheel. I'll just put a little oil on the gear. and a little on the pinion and a second pinion. Okay, just gently put it through the center wheel. And escape wheel. Now let's try to put the train wheel bridge. We'll try to find the perfect angle. This is held by 3 screws, so it should be easy to locate. And I'll just put in all the screws. So what I'm doing now, I'm not tightening it all the way. I'm just going to do it halfway. This is just to keep the train bridge in place. I just don't want it moving about uncontrollably. So just making sure all the wheels go into the pivot holes, and you can tell it's doing that by how it spins. Now it's time to tighten it. Okay, that's good. And a little bit of oil on the pivot holes. Okay, just spread the oil a bit. Yep, it's good. Now it's the ratchet wheel's turn. I'm just making sure the square hole goes to the square peg and the teeth meshes with the right gear. Now I'm using a screwdriver here to lock the ratchet wheel in place. So this will allow me to tighten the main barrel or the barrel spring. That's good. Now it's the pallet fork. And the pallet bridge. Now this bit here is a bit sensitive. You can break the pivot points so easily on the pallet fork. I know I've done that so many times. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loosely attach the pallet bridge and then sit the pallet fork, let it find its way in finding the hole. So like with the train wheel bridge, I'm just going to tighten this halfway. I'm just winding it a bit, just to give it a bit of power so I can test the pallet fork. Yep, that looks good. And time to tighten it. Of course, with the magic of video editing, it made it look so easy, but it actually took a long time to match that, sit that pallet fork. Yep. Okay, so now it's time for the put in the balance complete. This is the hairspring, and balance wheel, and the bridge. You'll notice there's no jewel on top of the balance wheel. I'll put that later on. Okay, time to put the washer. I didn't tighten it again. I just left room for the washer to slip through. Now that's in place, I can go ahead and tighten the screw. And the jewel. Now I've cleaned the jewel. At the same time I cleaned the movement. And I've also put a little dab of oil on the jewel itself. And this is the tricky bit. Just gotta be patient. It does take time. I'm trying not to shorten the film clip for this one. And that's it. I think I'm done with the movement side. And Now it's the dial side. And take 2, this time it's the bottom jewel. And this one too has been cleaned and oiled. Cool. I think I got the hang of it. Okay. Next is this spring. I actually don't know what it's called. But I know it's a spring that's working with the, I think, the date calendar wheel. I'm not sure. Maybe it's a yoke spring, I'm not sure. But if anyone out there knows, just please put a comment down below and let me know what it is. I'm trying to put oil again on the posts and the ridges, wheel ridges. Okay, the intermediate wheel. And the minute wheel. And I also don't know the name for this one, but I believe it's in charge of doing the 24-hour wheel for the date. Not sure. As well as this little one. Just a little bit of oil for the hour wheel. So far so good. It's just a straightforward put all the wheels in posts and that's it. And making sure the yoke spring clicks with the wheel. Now putting some oil on the setting lever. It'll have an extra piece. I believe it's also plays with the quick date setting. So here's this elbow joint. So I got this elbow joint and a cam-like wheel. I shouldn't say wheel, but piece that'll help flick the dates. Okay, the day wheel. Now the day wheel rests on 3 jewels. I should have highlighted it, but on the main plate there's 3 jewels there, and that's is the guide for the day wheel. Okay, and try and put the date plate. stay plate is held down by 3 screws, so I'll put all the screws in there. Again, it'll just be halfway, and I'll try to make sure everything fits. Okay, and this is the other wheel I was talking about. As it was a challenge, using 2 tweezers, it's best and probably safest to just use one. Use your finger just to help hold it down in place while you help navigate. Put the other leg of the spring in the slot. That spring helps with the date jumper, like here, and I'll put some oil. And preparing for the other spring. Okay, I'm just making sure they're sitting squarely against the spring, and as long as they're laying flat, they shouldn't spring out. Again, putting some oil. Now, I don't have any catalog or any specifications on where to put the oil. I'm just going by if there's some contact between metal to metal, I'll put some oil or grease. And now the day wheel. Okay, let me just make sure it catches. Yep. Cool. Dial. Now the dial, I just gave it a quick wipe. Kind of dabbed it with Rodico. I didn't really give it a good thorough clean. It wasn't that real dirty anyway. Okay, let me just zoom out. Okay. It's time to fasten the dial. And we'll just find that screw that'll hold the dial in place. It's on this side here. Let's try to find the other side, the other one. Here we go. I think that's good. Let's put it on a case cushion and try to find midnight where the date starts clicking over. And here we go. Whoop, done. I'll try to put the hour hand at 12 o'clock. Okay. Now just to push it gently, not too hard. Just make sure it's parallel against the dial. Good. Let's see if it clicks over at 12 o'clock. Yeah, that's good enough. Now time to put the minute hand. I think that should be good. I have to just gently lift it. I'll just have a look. Yep. Well, that looked good. And I'll put in the second hand as well. I'll just get the stem out so I can put the case. And time to put it in. And gently. Yep. Looking good. And the case back. And the case back ring. No, there's no gasket, so it's not watertight. There you go. And there you have it. Stripped down, reassembled, and still ticking. Not bad for an old watch, eh? Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please click the thumbs up if you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you get notified of new videos. Chat soon.